Elon Musk's brain chip startup Neuralink says it has received approval to begin recruiting patients for its first human trial. An independent review board has given the green light for the company to seek people with paralysis to test its experimental device in a 6-year study. The study will use a robot to surgically place a brain-computer interface, or BCI, implant in a region of the brain that controls the intention to move. Neuralink says the initial goal is to enable people to control a computer cursor or keyboard using their thoughts alone. Musk has grand ambitions for this medical device company, saying it would facilitate speedy surgical insertions of its chip devices to treat conditions like obesity, autism, depression, and schizophrenia.
The first two applications we're going to aim for in humans are restoring vision, and I think this is notable in that even if someone has never had vision ever, like they were born blind, we believe we can still restore vision. And then the other application being in the motor cortex, where we would initially enable someone who has almost no ability to operate their muscles, and enable them to operate their phone faster than someone who has working hands.
In May, the company said it had received clearance from the US Food and Drug Administration for its first in-human clinical trial. Its previous testing in animals is under federal scrutiny for potential animal welfare violations.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word in all true faith and sincerity. And today I just want to tie this lesson, the inevitable, which is prophecy. One thing about prophecy, it's inevitable. It will come to pass. These things will take place. Why? Because this is according to the purpose and intent of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And as you can see, the Lord's plans is being made manifest. His intents are being made known. You know, these events that's arising throughout the earth, especially this event concerning that hour of temptation. Everything is coming into its perfection, man. Now going to the clip we just seen, Neuralink, and you see the C-HIP is the MOTB is about to take center stage on the earth, man. Matter of fact, let's start off with this in the book of Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So as you can see, holding fast to the words of our Lord Yahushua, which is having a testimony, you know, the spirit of prophecy. That holding fast to this word, this doctrine, the Lord will keep us from this hour of temptation, man. And as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to that moment, that intimate moment, where we all will have our hour. We'll be tempted. That thing will be presented before us in one way, form, or fashion, man. And that's going to be one of those ways this devil get people, you know, these miracles, you know, these things would, is an effort to lure you in. It's an effort to, ease your flesh, whether it's food or water, or you just want to see a walk. This is how this devil is going to get people, man. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So it says, this hour of temptation shall come upon all the world. This is inevitable. This is the show. This is a commandment. When it says shall, it's gonna happen, man. But those that hold fast to the words of Yahweh Shai will be kept in it. Why? Because you will know what it is. You will know what to abstain from. That C-HIP, which is the MOTB. So matter of fact, let's get Revelation 13. Revelation 13 and Revelation 13 and 16, it says, and he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And when you go into that word calls of, it pretty much goes back to ordain. So this is going to be a decree. And this is not like, this is something new. Scriptures talk about what was written aforetime, ran for our learning. So when you read Daniel, the 3rd chapter, it's pretty much Nebuchadnezzar bringing forth a decree that it says all people, nations, and kingdoms, roughly paraphrasing, that you had to bow down to the image, which they literally had to do that. But how do you submit your allegiance to this devil in this time? By sticking out their hand and receiving that charagma, or in your foreheads for those that would do that. You see the right hand part of the aspect of it, where you got it's plethora of scriptures. Scriptures as well, but videos and articles showing that's where the momentum is heading towards. Then the forehead part, you got Neuralink to cover that aspect, man. So you see, prophecy ain't no stopping it, man. This unmovable force prophecy. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So that's the only way you're going to be able to continue in this system, unless you have that thing, man. But this is what's happening on the earth. This not like this is some random event. No, this is all going according to Yahweh Shema Shai. Was that in the book of Psalms? I think that's Psalms 140. In verse 8, it reads, grant not, O Lord, the desires of the wicked. And what is this man desires? To crown his enterprise success, to fulfill that new world order. Further not his wicked device. And that's what's going to contribute to his desires being met. That wicked device being put forth. Which we know that word device, when you go into it, it means a plan, usually in an evil manner, a plot scheme. But why is that word device in this modern times associated with technology? Because ultimately that device, his devices will lead to a device, a literal device, as we just watched the clip. What is the devil is going into how a robot is going to put a chip in your head. It says, further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. Salah, see? That's how they're going to submit themselves being in power if, the Lord allowed this man to continue and actually accomplish that feat. But that's not the case. But just going back, it shows that it's the Lord that's bringing forth these things. The Lord, it said he's further not his wicked device. So it showed that the Lord allowed this man to run his course till it was time to pull the rug from under him. But he's actually going to, it say he's going to actually, what's that in the book of Job, I believe. Let's get there in Job. Because he's going to actually tip people. People are going to get to see him. But it's not like he's going to plant his flag in the earth. He's not going to be cemented in the earth. The Lord is going to uproot him. And that's why we know we at the end, because the scriptures talk about, matter of fact, before I get it, let's just, I got a couple precepts real quick. We know we at the end of the so-called white man, because now his measure is being filled up. This is the book of 2 Esdras 4:37. By measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times. And that's concerning these empires that have came and went. They came, they had a certain time to rule, and in that it was a certain measure they had to fill. You know, when you go into Egypt, how the Lord set up Egypt and how we were going to be captives under Egypt. You know, even on a minute scale concerning even men, when you read the book of Luke, the 2nd chapter, concerning Simeon the prophet, it talks about how pretty much he wasn't going to be able to die till he seen the Lord. So yeah, he lived so many number of years, but that measure had to be fulfilled, you know, which was him seeing the Lord. Then he will be able, matter of fact, let's just get it. I don't want to butcher it, just going back to that measure, because like I mentioned, this is on a small scale, but even this is even on a larger scale concerning empires and rulerships. They have a certain fulfillment till they're moved out the way. So let me get this real quick in the book of St. Luke, the 2nd chapter. And hold on, let me jump up on this. Yep, St. Luke 2:25, it says, and behold, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon. And the same man was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was upon him. And it was revealed unto him by the Holy Spirit that he should not see death before he had seen the Lord anointed. See? Matter of fact, hey, that's heavy. So that's the he wasn't gonna be able to die. He wasn't gonna be able to go to the spirit realm. His measure wouldn't be fulfilled in that time till he seen Yahweh Shai, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna jump down to the matter of fact, I continue. It said, and it was revealed unto him, it's like verse 27, he came by the Spirit into the temple, and when the parents brought in the child Yahweh Shai to do him after the custom of the law, then he took him up in his arms and blessed the power the Most High and said, Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace according to thy word, for mine eyes have seen thy salvation. See, and that was his measure. It was filled up. You know, so they're just going back on a smaller scale concerning measurements and number of times that in it, those number of years, a certain measure be fulfilled. Then the next chapter can take place. So matter of fact, let's go back to it. 4:37. By measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times. And he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. See? And it's Yahweh by Shemel Shai that's bringing forth these things, that's distributing the number and measures unto these kingdoms, man. So it said it's not going to be moved or stirred till the said measure be fulfilled. So concerning this empire this rulership, what's the last, pretty much the thing that's going to put it over the top? This hour of temptation. You know, when this devil bring forth that sea hilt, the charagma, man. That's why we get this in the book of St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29. It reads, immediately after the tribulation of those days, and what we just read in Revelation, the third chapter, as well as 13, concerning this mandate of the MOTB, which shall come upon all the world. And it's not like this is a shot from the hip. No, the scriptures it's telling you this is that before the kingdom. This is that thing that you gotta go through, man. You know, that hour of temptation, where this, you know, this dragon, these draconian laws. Hey, because we seeing it coming back. You know, with the crown. You know, it's only going to get worse. But it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. So as you can see, before the destruction, that time of tribulation have to take place. Then it will be fulfilled. Then the destruction will take place. That's when the beginning will come, man. Because really we going into the beginning, but this is just the end of Edom. But just going back, you know, go to Job. The Lord allowed this man to run his course, you know, but ultimately he's going to be stopped in his tracks, man. He's going to allow this man to, you know, certain people are going to be sea-hipped. That's why you got Revelation the 14th chapter, in the 9th and 10th verse, concerning those that do take it. You're going to suffer the wrath of the Lord without mixture, which is the destruction, man. That fire. You know? So this is Job 20 verse 23 says, when he is about to fill his belly, see, and that's concerning those thoughts being fulfilled, as we just read in also in Psalms the 40th chapter. The wicked device, the devices of the wicked further not his devices. So these thoughts that he have conjured up, these different counsels, it ultimately leads to this hour of temptation. You know, where this devil is trying to once again bring forth that captivity. That's why the scripture talk about a prison shall not rise a second time. It says the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and it shall rain upon him while he is eating. See? And that's pretty much what we just read in St. Matthew the 24th chapter. Concerning immediately after the tribulation, that's when the Lord is going to bring forth that fire. But as you can see, what a momentum is heading towards, this digital society. Everything is going digital, you know, and ultimately this devil is trying to make people, you know, the internet of things. But once he do that, we know that you know, the next step is the destruction. So yeah, I just hope that we're edifying, like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that teach the word in our true faith and sincerity. DTA, Abba, Zoom, very soon.